Okay.
Okay.
What do you got
This
there?
is this is Uncle John's family, and this young man in the corner here is
Hmm.
the bishop that's going to be speaking Sunday.
Okay. That's great.
Okay.
We can't see the
Uh-huh.
rest of the photo there.
Huh?
We can't see everybody in the picture. Here we go. So
Okay.
the gentleman in right at the very middle, is that who is that? Is that the oldest son?
Up top,
Yeah.
actually, I don't know who that is. It's it must be an in-law because this is the oldest son over here.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Mm.
That's a gorgeous family. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Here's the last five.
Is that you guys? Really?
Yeah.
So, and the mule.
David, huh?
And the mule.
David, David, Corrine, Fanny, George, Fanny, and Ruth. And the mule's name was Jerry, and he was like a pet of the family. I mean, you see how he let all five of us get on him and didn't do a thing. And
Yeah.
he just was the pet of the family.
He loved y'all just as much as you loved him, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, that's adorable. That's David, Corrine, George, Fanny, and Ruth in order.
yeah.
That's such a beautiful picture. Everybody needs a copy of that picture.
Well, not everybody. That's the last five.
Yeah, the last
The
part.
first five were Irene, Jim, Bill, Rabbit, and Henry. But they had already married and gone off, and we were the last five at home.
Right, right.
Now we get into the Burnett's. This is Sydney Howard.
Who's that?
She was an old slave woman that had had several children, and she had finally had one child by the white slave master. And he brought her and her child to Kansas and set her up in a home and set her up in a restaurant. And he went on back to Tennessee. And the little child that he brought with her became our grandmother.
Wow.
And
So she's our great grandmother, or your
your
great grandmother.
great grand, yeah.
Yeah. And she ran the restaurant that's where the post office is.
That's where the post office is now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And this is there's a shadow on it, isn't there?
A little bit, but not much. It's okay.
Okay. This was the child that grew up and married grandpa and became my grandmother.
So that's Sydney Howard's daughter. Irene Howard is your grandmother.
Irene Howard is my grandmother.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
What
And that's
happened
all
to
I've
that
got
restaurant?
huh?
What happened to that restaurant?
Good question. I don't know what happened to the restaurant.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Yeah. Okay.
See, there was a time when they had restaurants and boarding houses and things like that, because when blacks were coming through town, there was no place for them to stay, no place for them to eat. And so, they had boarding houses for the blacks and the restaurant. And we had a few of the papers where she had purchased items for the restaurant, but I don't know what happened to the restaurant.
Mm.
The place where she lived was a place where Daddy's twin sister lived when she moved to town.